Hello, my friends. We are almost there. Pesach is soon to be celebrated by us, and because I love the Seder, and I hope you do as well, and because I believe that the Seder is supposed to be lively and engaging and joyous and happy and memorable and all those things, I've prepared this online course which I'm calling Creating a Lively Seder. Now the Seder, as you know, has an order. You go from beginning to end, I hope. But just because it has an order, it doesn't mean that it has to be boring. A Seder should not be boring. And it's up to us to make certain that it's not. So where do we begin? You know, one of the realities of being at a Seder is that everything I want to teach you to prepare for the Seder can't really be accomplished if you have a bunch of grumpy, angry people around the Seder table asking the only question they know how to ask: when do we eat? So my suggestion is, and I've been advocating this for years, give people something to eat before you sit down at the table. Anything but matzah. Give them hors d'oeuvres, give them fruit, give them snacks. Let them have some food in their bellies so that they can sit at the Seder table for maybe an hour. That's a lot, but maybe an hour until we actually get to the meal itself. Now, those of you who are going to have the wonderful privilege, and it is a privilege, to lead the Seder, I want you to hopefully take some notes at what I'm going to say, because I think maybe between some of the comments I share and some that you might read about on your own, you can take your Seder to a different level. Along the way, everyone knows there are the stopping points of the Seder. Those milestones as we go through. You know the Seder order. It goes Kadesh, Orchatz, Karpas, Yachatz, Magid, Rakza, Motzi, Matzah, Moro Korech, Shulchan Orech, Tzafun Barech, Halel Nirtzah. Those are the stopping points. Those comprise the order of the Seder. And each one has something to teach us. Each one has something that we ought to be aware of. Not only at those points, but so many other places along the way. Now, to make this really work, you may have to do something that I know flies against tradition. You may have to purchase another Haggadah. The Maxwell House Haggadah, which this year was updated, is a wonderful Haggadah. It has served the Jewish people very well. Millions of copies of the Maxwell House Haggadah have been printed. But if you want to lead an engaging, interesting Seder, you need to look at the other Haggadot that are out there, and some that I recommend include the following. There is the Haggadah published by the Rabbinical Assembly. That is the rabbinic organization that I'm a member of. It's called the Passover Haggadah, the Feast of Freedom. And it has explanations and questions and commentaries. Every page has commentaries and questions along the side. So that as you're going through, if you're leading or if you're there just as a participant, there are things you can ask There are comments you can share with others. There are historical realities that you can make everyone aware of. It's a wonderful Haggadah. I've been using it probably for about 30 years. And it has all the stains of wine and charoset to prove it. There's also another Haggadah which is much more child-friendly. It's called A Different Night, the Family Participation Haggadah. It's a wonderful Haggadah that was published a few years ago, and families enjoy this Haggadah. There are many, many more. I have probably in my library 60 or 70 Haggadot, some very recent and some facsimiles of medieval Haggadot. So the Haggadah, which is something that I love, is very much a part of my library. Well, when we're at the Seder table, what are we supposed to be doing? We are supposed to be stimulating the curiosity of our children or our grandchildren, but there are children. We want to stimulate their questions. In fact, according to the tradition, if a child asks a question, not one of the 4 questions, but if a child asks another question just based upon what he or she sees as being different that night at the Seder, you don't even have to ask the 4 questions, because it's all about asking spontaneous questions, if possible. Now I'm going to let you in on a little gimmick that I have, and I've been doing this for several years already. In the days before Pesach, I go to the 99-cent store or the dollar store, if you really want to be the high-priced line of things, and I buy a bunch of tchotchke toys, a bag full, all 99 cents or $1. And the kids at our Seder, the children at our Seder, whether it's our grandchildren or nieces or nephews, they know if they ask a good question, they get a prize. Because I want to stimulate their asking questions. And if they answer one of the questions I ask, they also get a prize. Everyone gets prizes at my Seder. Everyone. No one walks away empty-handed, and that's why the children look forward to coming to the Seder. By the way, adults also get prizes. You'll be surprised how much the adults around our table enjoy getting a little tchotchke prize if they've answered a question or asked me a question again. So if you're going to lead a Seder, one of the things you really should do is come prepared not only with interpretations and commentaries and explanations, but come prepared with questions that you can pose along the way, that you can use to stimulate conversation along the way. Now, you may not know this, but the Seder experience is modeled after the Greek symposiums. The Greeks used to get together, and I'm talking about 2,000 years ago, because the Greeks and Jews lived very close together. And the Greeks would drink wine just like we do, but they might have had a little bit more than we do. And they would discuss an important topic for the evening. We do the same. Our topic is Yetziat Mitzrayim, the going forth out of Egypt. We've been discussing it for centuries, and there's still so much to discuss about it, so much that I want to share with you that can make that discussion fruitful and meaningful and lively. But that'll happen in our next video, which you'll be able to tune into very, very soon. See you soon. Chag Sameach.